So today, as per schedule, we are planning to take one more class on SS welding,
Yes,
stainless
sir.
steel welding. Because the ISAF is now phased out. Okay, only LHB is there in coming years. So we must familiarize with SS welding. So SS welding is the utmost important area. We must take care of it. It is very difficult compared to our conventional welding. Whereas the mild steel and cotton steel you are attending with some precaution measures. Above that level also we have to take utmost care for stainless steel repairs. So that is why today we are going to take a class on SS welding. Okay, what is stainless steel? Stainless steel basically iron carbon alloys. Okay, based upon the changing in the percentage of chromium, the property of steel will be changed. Okay, chromium percentage more. Minimum is 12.2 percentage chromium is there to impart anti-corrosive property. So stainless steels are iron carbon alloys and it should have some amount of chromium, minimum 12.2 percentage to impart anti-corrosive property, because the property only we are using the stainless steel to reduce the corrosion prone areas. So it is anti-corrosive in oxidizing environment and not very suitable in reducing environments. Property due to formation of passive impervious complex iron chromium oxide film. Start this. Start this. So stainless steel again further classified into three. One is austenitic steel, second is martensitic steel, third one is ferritic steel. Okay, three classifications are there. Individually we will discuss further. Okay, first one is 409M ferritic. If you take ferritic, 409M is a classification code. So it is normally used in sidewall, end wall of LHB coach. ఏమండి side wall below window of EMU and under frame and side wall below window of all SS stainless steel EMU. So this percentage, if you check up in the 409M, chromium carbon percentage వచ్చి 0.08 percentage, chromium percentage is 10.5 to 11.75 percentage, nickel is almost nil. Other is titanium 6xc, small percentage they use for getting more strength, ferritic property. So come to the other classification 304 austenitic. One more is 301 austenitic. Two areas are there, more or less same, but the location is changed. 304 normally for manufacturing of roof and trough floor of LHB coach, trough floor of roof and the side panel above the window of all SS EMU, and a brake pipe of EMU. This is 304. And 301 trough floor, vendor compartment, deck sheet, inside paneling, partition wall, driver's cabin, etc. of EMU. So these are locations where we use the 304 and 301. The composition we check up more or less both are same, only the nickel percentage is little bit changed and chromium carbon percentage also changed. The 304 carbon is very less, 0.08 percentage only, whereas 301 carbon is 0.15 percentage, little bit increased. And chromium more or less same, 18 to 20 or 16 to 18. Nickel percentage also varied is there, 8 to 12 percentage, here 68 only. So less percentage of nickel in 301 and more carbon percentage. And 304 less carbon percentage and more nickel percentage. This is a combination based on that the application has been changed. Now another steel is M44, the ferritic steel. So this is used at side wall, floor, extension, side sill and center sill of box and CR wagon. So this is the location where we use for wagon side. Carbon percentage is 0.03 percentage. Chromium percentage is 10.8 to 12.5 percentage. Little bit titanium also is 0.7 maximum level. So compared to one by one we'll discuss. First is ferritic steel. So why we have to use ferritic steel is the properties. It is a very low carbon, basically low carbon 0. Here given ferritic is 0.08 percentage only there. So low carbon we are using, and chromium about 11 to 30%. The more chromium is more steel property, more stainless steel. So that is why 11 to 30% chromium is available. The structure, if you see microstructure, it contains ferrite. Okay or not? Ferrite structure is there, and magnetic in nature because of low carbon. It is having magnetic nature. Sometimes you may see no, even though it is a steel, it will attract by magnet because of the ferritic, because the steel it is ferritic, and remains ferritic from RT to MP, and do not respond to heat treatment, prone to grain growth if heated above 950 degrees centigrade. So structure, the growth grain structure will be changed above 950 degrees centigrade. That means what? What is the concept of welding? We have to see that the basic original grain structure should not be disturbed. So for that purpose, we have to see a welding in a proper way. So when you are attending your stainless steel, we have to see that the temperature should not cross 950 degrees centigrade to maintain the original grain growth structure. This you have to keep in mind. To go for less temperature means what? Lesser temperatures only we have to use. That is the concept. Possesses good ductility, very good corrosion resistance property, and suitable for low temperature use. So we have to use for low temperatures only. Now come to another one, martinistic stainless steel. So carbon is more. You observe no 0.82 in the previous case. Ferritic, martinistic 0.2 to 1.2% carbon they are using, and chromium is less. In the previous case, up to 30% chromium is there. Here 11 to 18% chromium only available. So can be hardened by heat treatment, and it contains martensite in the microstructure. And also extensive usage of this martensite steel is available because of it is resistance to wear, it is resistance to oxidation, and also resistance to corrosion. That is the most extensive use in railways and other areas also, martensite stainless steel. Clear? Now come to the austenitic stainless steel. So carbon is very less, 0.03 to only 0.1 percentage. Chromium is approximately more or less same to your ferritic, that is 18 to 30 percentage. Nickel is more or less 5 to 20 percentage. So the by far the most important group with respect to the tonnage of usage, variety of application means that we use less type of material. Many varieties with varying composition properties are available in the market. So a lot of, because less carbon is there, more chromium is there, nickel also added. That is why it is a demagnetic effect is there. So many varieties with varying composition we can made and properties are available in the market. Come to again further information about your austenitic stainless steel. The microstructure contains mainly austenite. The structure itself is called as austenite structure. Sometimes ferrite is present in small amounts or lesser quantity. Remains austenitic from RT to MP, and it is non-magnetic basically. Okay, and possesses highest corrosion resistance of all. Okay, because it's a pure non-magnetic material, and having more percentage of carbon, less percent of carbon, and more percent of chromium, as well as nickel also available. That is why it is having highest corrosion resistance of all material stainless steel. Some grades have very good strength and scale resistance at higher temperature.
Sir, RT means and MP means, sir?
ఏమండి
RT means and MP means? RT,
మెల్టింగ్ టెంపరేచర్ అండి,
yeah,
మెల్టింగ్ పాయింట్.
remaining oscillate from RT to MP.
నేను చెప్తాను మీకు, వస్తుంది ఇక్కడ గ్రాఫిక్లో వస్తుంది, గ్రాఫ్లో చూపిస్తాను మీకు, ఇక్కడ వస్తుంది.
Thank you, sir.
చెప్తాను మీకు, అది వస్తుంది, ఒక్కసారి ఆగండి. బేసిక్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఇన్ వెల్డింగ్. Basic problems in welding. Problems means when you are attending welding, we may some difficulty or we may sacrifice the quality of welding. Okay or not? This problem may arise in conventional welding also. Not only in the SS welding, but in conventional welding also, we may face some difficulties in welding. What are the welding defects you notice in a conventional welding? Normally you see improper deposition, improper weaving. Okay or not? And what do we say? Lack of fusion, blowholes. Okay. So these are the conventional welding defects you notice. Apart from that welding defects, some other defects also you can notice in the SS welding. That is why we must take utmost care when you are attending the SS welding. So the property, if you see the property, steel property, low thermal and electrical conductivity. Compared to your mild steel, the SS stainless steel having low thermal and electrical conductivity, and also high coefficient of expansion.
Hello.
కొంచెం హలో చెప్పండి, సైలెన్స్లో ఉన్నానండి, నేను మీట్ పెడుతున్నాను మీ అందరినీ. ఒకసారి టాపిక్లోకి వెళ్తున్నాం మళ్ళీ. Low thermal and electrical conductivity means it attracts less temperature, so thermal property. So we have to use low temperatures only. Electrical conductivity means low currents we have to use it. High coefficient of expansion, so it takes a little bit more time to expand the heat from one place to other place. So that means what, we have to keep our electrode a little bit more time than your conventional welding. The 3 points you have to remember. This is the concept of your basic problems. First is low thermal conductivity is a property of your stainless steel. To maintain this problem, we have to see that we have to keep lesser temperature of your electrode, and also electrical conductivity, less electrical conductivity is, that is why you have to use lower currents. Okay. And third problem is high coefficient of expansion is a property of material stainless steel. For this purpose, we have to keep our electrode while you are depositing little bit more than our conventional arc welding. So during SS welding, it exhibits higher tendency of rappage, higher incidence of weld cracking, and also it has other problems related to different phase formations during the thermal cycle. So the phase formation will be disturbed. Relative weldability of different grades vary. We see here the thermal conductivity, coefficient expansion, electrical resistivity, and welding range. So this is a martensitic steel, this is a ferritic steel, this is austenitic steel, and this is a carbon steel. Presently we are using normally conventional is carbon steel only. So the melting temperature normally we are using 15 to 38 degrees centigrade temperature. Okay. When you come to your martensitic or ferritic, you have to use lesser temperature. Remember, 1398 to 1454 for austenitic. Okay. This is the things you have to keep in mind. So another problems when you use a ferritic steel is excessive grain growth. So grain structure will be disturbed more in the ferritic steel. Sigma phase formation will be there. Okay, rest we'll see. So to restrict the excessive grain growth, grain growth means the structure, the atomic structure or molecular bonding in the metal will be disturbed. That can be restricted with the restriction of heat input. That means lesser heat input we have to provide, means lower side. Normally when you go to your electrode, there are two varieties will be shown. From range they will give normally. Okay, suppose let us say 70 amperes to 90 amperes they are given. So in conventional welding we go for 90 amperes only, whereas when you do your SS welding, better go for 70 amperes only. That is the thing you have to keep in mind. And restrict interpass temperature less than 150 degrees centigrade. Okay, when you multiply the number of welding ranges also you have to see. less temperatures only, not below, not above the 150 degrees centigrade. Sigma phase formation can be controlled by slow heating or cooling in the range of 500 to 900 degrees centigrade. So within the range only we can control. Iron chromium intermetallic compound, hard metal. So what you can maintain, avoid slow cooling in the temperature range only. So slow cooling only we have to make in the stainless steel, that you have to keep in mind. These are the another system. This is not required. So okay, this is also not required. Okay. Weldability of Martinez steel. So what are the preventive measures? So the basic problem is about hardened HAZ, heat affected zone, HAZ, susceptible to crack formation. What is heat affected zone? So when you start welding, so the heat will be transferred from one place to other place. Okay or not? Let us say this is your one welding plate. This is your another welding plate. You started welding here. When you deposit the metal, okay, what will happen? The heat will be transferred. It will be transferred slowly. Further also, even you stopped welding here, because of the metallic property, heat will be transferred further. Okay, not. So this heat range, heat affected zone. So up to this portion, heat will be available, but which is not required. What we require actually at the weld zone only, heat should be available. But because of the metallic property, heat will be extended further also. So this entire zone is called as heat affected zone. The entire zone is called heat affected zone. So this you remember. So for that purpose, to minimize the Haas, what will happen if more Haas is there? More Haas means, more heat affected zone means we are unnecessarily disturbing the original grain structure of the material. So if the original grain structure is disturbed, the metal slowly becomes weakened and it will become brittle. So to avoid that property, that difficulty, we have to take some measures. One is preventive measure is preheating up from 150 degrees to 250 degrees centigrade. Second one is post welding heat treatment, 750 degrees to 800 degrees centigrade. Third one is furnace cooling to 590 degrees centigrade. And also rapid cooling also can be done after completion of welding. So for this purpose, 13 chromium type or arsenic filler wire we can use for welding. But in railways, if you see, presently we are almost all nil material we are using pertaining to Martinez stainless steel. So we are very happy. There is no preheating or post welding requirement is there in our LHB also. Come to the austenitic stainless steel. Most readily available, almost all SS, no preheat or post weld heat treatment is required. And however, some problems are there. One is micro fissuring or solidification cracking, means after completion of welding, a crack will be generated at the middle of the or in the corner of the welding. Next is sigma phase formation disturbing in the structure, and sensitization of welded decay will form. That are the three problems is there. For that purpose, some precautions we can take. Okay, now by producing some ferrite, 4 to 5% in the weld metal, because of its ability to dissolve impurities. Number one. Second one is weld metal composition is balanced. That is required. This is not required. This is a chromium equivalent diagram. Some welding techniques we have to follow while you are attending a stainless steel. Okay, as a summary. First one is arc length. arc length is a significant factor of SS welding. Okay, లైన్లో ఉండండి. హలో
పని
చెప్పు సుధాకర్.
లింక్ పెట్టలేదు దాంట్లో యాక్చువల్గా మెసేజ్ పెట్టావు ఓన్లీ ఆల్ పార్టిసిపెంట్ ప్లీజ్ నోట్ దట్ జనరల్ టాపిక్స్ అని.
లింక్ అక్కడ కాదు, నువ్వు మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్కి వెళ్ళేసాయి, టీమ్స్కి వెళ్ళేసాయి.
టీమ్స్లో నాకు డెస్క్టాప్లో ఓపెన్ కావట్లా. టీమ్స్కి వెళ్ళి
టీమ్స్కి వెళ్ళేసిన తర్వాత కింద అక్కడ RC 106 ఉంది కదా, అందులో CNW జనరల్ ఇవన్నీ ఉంటాయి కదా, అట్లనే వర్క్షాప్ డాష్ క్యారేజ్ అని పెట్టాను ఒకటి.
అవును
వర్క్షాప్ క్యారేజ్ దాంట్లో క్లిక్ చేస్తే చాలా వస్తుంది. ఆ,
లింక్ పంపించేద్దాం మెయిల్కి, దాని నుంచి నాకు ఈజీ ఓపెన్ అయిపోతుంది.
ఆల్రెడీ క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాం అది మళ్ళీ లింక్ ఎట్లా పంపలేదు. ఒక్కసారి ఎవరైనా అడిగి చూడు, లేకుంటే మన వాళ్ళు ఆల్రెడీ అందరూ జాయిన్ 30 మెంబర్స్ జాయిన్ అయిపోయారు ఆల్రెడీ.
శ్రీకృష్ణ కాల్ చేయనా?
శ్రీకృష్ణ కూడా ఏం చేయలేడు, కానీ నువ్వు ఒక్కసారి వెళ్ళేసి RC వర్క్షాప్కి వెళ్ళి చూడు, వస్తుంది నీకు.
టీమ్స్ నాకు సిస్టంలో ఓపెన్ కావట్లేదు, ఆల్రెడీ డైరెక్ట్ వెబ్ పేజ్లో లోడ్ అవుతుంది.
అట్లానా? లింక్ ఎట్లా పెట్టాలి నీకు ఇది? మా సయ్యద్ అక్కడే ఉన్నాడు చూడు, సయ్యద్ దగ్గర ఉంది, ఆల్రెడీ ఆన్ అయింది. సో ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ arc length you must take care. So lesser arc length we have to maintain. Number 2 is rutile coated electrode we must use. And why we have to use why we should not use a longer arc? So longer arc means more chromium loss. So chromium is a property of a steel to prevent oxidation from the atmosphere. So it will give protection from the corrosion. That is why we must take care of the chromium coating over the steel. Okay or not? So that is why if you keep a longer arc means more chromium loss will be occurred. That is why you must use only lesser arc. Next, so short arc length means using less chromium loss. That is why we must use short arc length only. Stringer bead is a too fast cooling. Stringer bead means one over the other, like stitching we have to do, not a weaving bead. For example, I would like to show you. This is your conventional welding, weaving you are doing. So going back and coming like a U shape you are doing welding here. Whereas stringent means you have to do welding like this, you have to do welding like this, you have to do welding like this. So like a welding you have to make like this. So that you can do a quality of welding. Okay or not? So this is your stringer bead. So stringer bead you have to follow, not a weaving technique. So it promotes the ferrite formation in the welded metal. That is why welding technique has a great influence in SS welding. So compared to your conventional welding, for SS welding, the welders must be trained in a proper way. Okay. When they are attending welding training at BTC or any other area, see that the welders must be trained on SS welding also. Okay. So what are the techniques so far we learned? First one is arc length, lesser arc length they have to use. Number 2 is a shorter arc length. Second one is stringer bead they have to follow. Okay. Next is lower current settings that you have to see. So these are the conventional welding process available in Indian Railways. One is shielded metal arc welding, gas junction arc welding, gas metal arc welding, submerged arc welding, resistance welding, and flash welding. So all weldings are available. But coming to SMAW, so IS 5206, okay, specification number IS 5206 is there, and IRS M28, if you refer it, there you can see class M1 to M6 variety of steel weldings available here, electrodes. So normally we use M2 class electrode, M1 or M2 class electrodes we can use for our LHB repairs. Steel, pure stainless steel welding repairs. And dissimilar metal also we can use M class electrodes. The covering is generally basic or radial basic electrodes and recommended is DC positive only 40. Normally we use MIG welding. So MIG welding, even though we are using AC, MIG will convert AC to DC, inverter converter is there. So based on that you will get automatically DC supply only. Need not worry about DC availability. What are the machines are available in the workshops now, latest machines, they have inbuilt converters are there from AC to DC. Even though we are plugging into the socket of AC supply, but that electric supply will convert into DC supply, that will be transferred to the plant. That is why DC supply will get to pure sine wave. Sorry, pure arc current you will get it. And some electrodes are operable at AC also. OCV should be 70 volts minimum. Okay, OCV, open circuit voltage. Welding can be done in almost all positions, means downward position, vertical position, horizontal position, and overhead position. All positions we can do welding. Okay, gas metal arc welding you can see. So sometimes oxygen or CO2 also we can add gas as a shielding gas for improvement of this one. Okay, IRS M46, we are here referring the standards for your electrode classification and steel classification. In that class 6 and 7 electrodes we can use for MIG solid pillar wire. Okay, and the shielding gas also combination we can use. Instead of individually using CO2 or oxygen, we can use a combination 90% is argon, 5% is CO2 and 5% oxygen for getting the moderate expenditure over the welding. For that purpose we are using Carnot. And FACW flux covered arc welding, this is a conventional system. We are specification is AWS A 5.22, the specification. Okay, IRS M46 if you refer it, again class 6 and 7 electrodes will be specifically mentioned for MIG plus covered filler wires for railway use. Okay, this is not railways. This is a TIG welding position. This is our arc plant. AC or DC supply. Normally you take AC supply, but it converted DC and given to your plate for the negative and positive to plate, negative to your electrode. This is argon gas here for using the shielding gas. This is a filler rod we use for deposition. Like your conventional aluminum water tank, how you repair, like that also we can do steel welding also. Okay, not. So this is resistance welding. Normally we don't use it. We are not used here. For how to join with SS with other steels. So combination of steels. Okay, 2-3 varieties are there, ferritic, austenitic and other types. So for that how to join. This is also we use. One RDSO procedure is there for that MC97. Okay, this is manuals given guidelines for joining of stainless steel with stainless steel or other type of steels. Okay, issued by RDSO. Procedure number is MC97. You refer it, we can get a lot of information, the procedure details of stainless steel welding. Okay, some brief gist I would like to give you here. So materials normally for stainless steels are ASI 301, 304 austenitic. Next ASI 409M and IRS M44 ferritic. And other steels are cotton steel IRS M41 and your IS 2062 normally you know. And any other plain carbon steels. So this already discussed. Welding process also discussed already. Welding procedure is preparation of prior to welding, actual welding and care after welding. So 3 precautions we must take care when attending stainless steel welding. In conventional welding also we must take the precautions. The same way here also we follow, but thing is a little bit other additional features we have to follow. That what are the do's and don'ts we follow here. First is cleaning. In the conventional system in MS normally self-heating itself will kill in the surface of the metal. When you start arc welding, because of the heat transfer, high heat thermal conductivity, so heat will be transferred further and it will automatically clean the surface, removing the oil or grease over that. But whereas it come to stainless steel, the heat transfer is less, so the thermal conductivity is less, so it will not self cleaning facility. and the surface is not easily cleaned. మన ఇంట్లో స్టీల్ ప్లేట్ ఉందనుకోండి, దానికి ఆయిల్లో గ్రీజ్ అంటుకుంది అనుకోండి, ఎలా క్లీన్ చేయాలి? చేత్తో క్లీన్ చేస్తే పోతుందా? పేపర్తో క్లీన్ చేస్తే పోతుందా? బ్రష్తో క్లీన్ చేస్తే పోతుందా? పోదు. డిటర్జెంట్ వాడితేనే క్లీన్ చేసినా పోతుంది. అలానే ఇక్కడ కూడా కోచ్లో కానీ దీనిలో కానీ స్టెయిన్లెస్ స్టీల్ సర్ఫేస్ ఉన్నప్పుడు we don't expect that easily it will move like conventional ever MS steel. Okay or not? So thorough cleaning we must follow. Area about 15 mm from each side of the weld zone shall be cleaned properly. Okay. Weld area be free from dust, dirt, grease, oil, paints, etc. Non-corrosive organic solvent, kerosene oil, benzene to be used. ఓకే, ఇంతకు చెప్పినట్టుగా స్టీల్లో నార్మల్గా బ్రష్ పెట్టి క్లీన్ చేసేంత ఉండదు ఇక్కడ. ఇది మనం ఏదన్నా ఆర్గానిక్ సాల్వెంట్ వాడితేనే బెటర్. నాన్ కరోజివ్ ఆర్గానిక్ అది కూడా మళ్ళీ. ఓకే, కిరోసిన్ కానీ బెంజిన్ కానీ వాడేస్తే థరో క్లీనింగ్ ఉంటుంది. వై థరో క్లీనింగ్ స్పెసిఫికలీ మెన్షనింగ్ ఇఫ్ యూ క్లీన్ థరోలీ ఓన్లీ యువర్ వెల్డింగ్ కెన్ బి డన్ ప్రాపర్లీ. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ యూ రిమెంబర్. But remember that chlorine based solvents must not be used, okay, because it will react with the chromium and the chromium layer will come out and the surface will become rough and it will attract the corrosion again further. So whole work will be wasted. So chlorine based should not be used, only non corrosive organic solvent can be used. And remember that SS wire brushes to be used to remove tenacious layer of chromium oxide. ఇది బాగా గుర్తుపట్టుకోవాలండి. మన కన్వెన్షన్లో మనము ఏమేమి చేస్తామంటే
वर्क कर रहे थे, गाड़ी बाहर रखो बोल रहे थे, गाड़ी नहीं जा सकता बाहर.
SS wire brushes only to be used to remove tenacious layer of the chromium oxide. You remember, ఎందుకంటే క్రోమియం లేయర్ ఏదైనా సరే స్టెయిన్లెస్ స్టీల్ బాడీ ఉన్నప్పుడు స్టెయిన్లెస్ స్టీల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్తోనే వాడాలి. మళ్ళీ మీకు చెప్తాను అది. కానీ ఇప్పుడు ఏం గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలంటే టు క్లీన్ ద సర్ఫేస్ MS wire brush వాడామనుకోండి, what will happen? MS will react and will reduce the chromium layer property of this steel metal. So the surface will become roughened and it will attract again corrosion. That is why what we can suggest, we have to use only SS wire brushes for SS welding. Number one, SS wire brushes cannot be used on other MS. Or once you use SS wire brush on iron, let us MS welding area for cleaning purposes, the same brush cannot be used again on your SS welding zone. So it is dedicated. What I mean, it should be a dedicated wire brush separately used for stainless steel welding. That you remember. Next is edge preparation. Normally we are using less thickness in LHB coaches. So edge preparation not required. Normally butt joints we can do. But if you prepare, we want to prepare for edge joints, dimension will be given. But so far in LHB coaches, edge preparation not required. Only butt joints are enough. Okay, plasma cutting we can use for cutting of stainless steel bodies. During welding, what are the precautions to be taken in SS welding? Welding parameter can be set as per recommendations of the manufacturer. Okay, and for your MMAW DC positive 70 OCV we have to use. Already I told you OCV is important. And welding current on lower side of the range, because electrode I told ranges will be given. Normally the manufacturer will not give a specific current, he will give a range. Let us say 70 to 90 amperes, 140 to 160 amperes, like that they will give one range. So we have to choose the lower side of the currents always. Is a preferable one, because to get lower heat input. Maintain short arc length to minimize the loss of chromium. Arc length, welder should not take much more arc length to finish off his weld deposition easily with the increasing of current. So that tactful things should not be done in this welding. So they have to use lesser current, as well as the arc length should be less. What is arc length? Arc length nothing but distance between the base plate and your tip of the electrode. Okay, అండి. This is your base plate, let us say. You are doing, this is your electrode. So the gap, what you are using a gap? this gap is called as a your this gap is called as your arc length. The arc length more or less equal to your dia of the electrode normal, as you know. But here we have to use lesser short arc length. So little bit lesser than the dia of the electrode we have to choose it, so that the chromium loss will not be occurred. Stringer beads I told you already, not like weaving. This is weaving technique. This should be avoided. This is wrong. What we have to use? We have to use stringer beads. Likewise, you have to do welding. Okay or not? Weaving not more than twice the diameter of electrode, even though the weaving will be done, you should not cross the more than 2 times the diameter of the electrode. And smaller dia of electrode only use. Normally in a convention also we use smaller dia only for welding. Here also you have to use smaller dia only. Deslag properly using SS chisel and brush. So whatever you are using tools for stainless steel must be stainless steel only. Like for example, chisel you are using, it must be SS chisel only. You are using a brush for cleaning, brush also must be SS only. Likewise, clear? Okay. Next, after welding. Now so far we discussed prior to welding, during welding. Next, come to the slide after welding. So first is the grind weld reinforcement. So grinding is required. If any thing surface to be smoothened, we have to go for grinding and finish by using fine grinder. Okay, grinder also must be stainless steel only. Once you use for stainless steel, the grinder should be dedicated to stainless steel bodies only. Remember, okay. Again, otherwise it will attract the chromium loss. So whatever the grinders you are using for surface cleaning must be dedicated to stainless steel only. And come to the avoid overheating during grinding. This is necessary as stainless steel is susceptible to corrosion if the surface is rough. Remember. Welding consumables. So M class, I told you now, class M1 electrode you can choose for IRS M2802 specifications for all your MMW electrodes. Okay, M1 class electrode use. ఆర్క్ వెల్డింగ్ ప్లాంట్లకి మీరు M1 క్లాస్ ఎలక్ట్రోడ్స్ వాడుకోవచ్చు. ఈ స్టాండర్డ్స్ ఏంటంటే IRS M2802 బుక్ మాన్యువల్ అయినట్టయితే మనకు తెలుస్తుంది. ఎక్సెప్ట్ ఫర్ IRS M44 ఇచ్చాడు ఇక్కడ. ఇది గ్రేడ్ 409Mకి మనకు వాడకూడదు. ఫర్ దీస్ గ్రేడ్స్ అండ్ కాంబినేషన్ జాయింట్స్ బిట్వీన్ ఆస్టెనేటిక్ అండ్ ఫెరటిక్ స్టెయిన్లెస్ స్టీల్ M2 క్లాస్ టు బి యూజ్డ్. ఇది వేరే ఆస్టెనిక్ ఫెరటిక్ వాడినట్టయితే దెన్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు గో ఫర్ M2 క్లాస్ ఎలక్ట్రోడ్. ఇఫ్ యూ గో త్రూ ది స్టాండర్డ్స్ యూ విల్ గెట్ క్లియర్ the part also they will give, LHB part also they will give clearly, you can understand. Electrode they are normally 2.5, 3.15, 4 mm electrode based on the thickness we can choose. Okay, your CO2 is 1.2, 0.8 CO2. And retry the electrodes before using up to 150 degrees centigrade for at least 1 hour. Okay, in the oven we have to keep our electrodes for 1 hour with a temperature of 100 degrees centigrade. Okay, this is recommended by the manufacturer. And always use SS brushes. Several times I repeatedly I told we have to use SS brushes only. Thermal conductivity is less. Okay, that is why increase localized heating of workpiece to counter use less currents only. I also repeated. And melting point of SS is lower than MS. That is why no problem with lower currents. Thermal expansion is also less, 50% more than the MS. There is a more chance of wrapping and buckling. So use susceptible fixtures. Okay, longer joints are there, better go for fixtures for getting good welding. And electrical resistance is 6 to 12 times more than the MS. That is why problem of overheating also there. To counter low, you have to use lower current and shorter arc lengths. And any other combinations also SS with SS also, we have to use some precautionary measures. These are all things only. Variation in chemical composition leads to dilution of filler metal with either of two base material, causing variety of problems. అందుకని వేరియేషన్ ఇన్ ఫిజికల్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ చూసినట్లయితే uneven heat flow causing differential stresses, uneven expansion causing wrapping and distortion, and uneven melting of base metal జరుగుతుంది. ఇది ఫిజికల్ ప్రాపర్టీ వల్ల. కెమికల్ కాంబినేషన్ వల్ల ఫిల్లర్ మెటల్ జాయిన్ అవుతుంది కదా బేస్ మెటల్లో, దానివల్ల కాంబషన్ అవుతుంది. ఎట్లా అవుతుంది అది అంటే చూద్దాం. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇది ఒక బేస్ ప్లేట్ అనుకోండి. ఇది ఇంకొక బేస్ ప్లేట్. ఓకే, ఇందులో మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాం అంటే ఫిల్లర్ డిపాజిట్ చేస్తున్నాం. మెటల్ ఫిల్లర్ డిపాజిట్ చేస్తున్నాం. డిసిమిలర్ మెటల్ అనుకుందాం. అంటే ఇది ఒక మెటల్ కాంబినేషన్, ఇది ఇంకొక మెటల్ కాంబినేషన్ అనుకుంటే ఇది ఒక మెటీరియల్. ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక్క నిమిషం అండి, ఇది మెటల్ ఏ, దీని యొక్క ప్రాపర్టీ దీనికి ఉంటుంది. ఇది ఒక మెటల్ బి, దీని ప్రాపర్టీ దీనికి ఉంటుంది. ఇది మెటల్ సి, అంటే ఇది ఎలక్ట్రోడ్ కదా, ఇక్కడ ఎలక్ట్రోడ్ వాడాం. డిపాజిషన్ కావడానికి ఏం వాడతాం? ఎలక్ట్రోడ్ వాడతాం. ఎలక్ట్రోడ్ హ్యావింగ్ ఇట్స్ ప్రాపర్టీ మెటల్ సి. సో కెమికల్ రియాక్షన్ ఇక్కడ ఏం జరుగుతుంది? ఇక్కడ ద కాంపోజిషన్ ఆఫ్ ఏ ప్లస్ ద కాంపోజిషన్ ఆఫ్ బి ప్లస్ ద కాంపోజిషన్ ఆఫ్ సి. సో 3 are there here. With all things A, here you will get a one metal. So this A plus B plus C is equal to this deposition. That is the thing, the chemical reaction జరుగుతుంది. So how you expect the original grain growth structure similar to your base metal? So very difficult possibility is there here. అందుకని ఇది ఒక కెమికల్ రియాక్షన్ జరుగుతుంది, గుర్తుపట్టుకోవాలి. వెల్డింగ్ చేసేటప్పుడు మనం డిసిమిలర్ మెటీరియల్స్లో ఇది ఎక్కువ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ వస్తాయి మనకి. సో దానికోసం మనం ఏం చేయాలంటే దానికి వేరే కాన్సెప్ట్ ఉంది. ఇక్కడ చూద్దాం ఏమి ఇచ్చారో చూద్దాం. స్టెయిన్లెస్ స్టీల్లో సో వేరియేషన్ కెమికల్ కాంపోజిషన్, అది మీనింగ్ ఇక్కడ అర్థమవుతుందా? కెమికల్ కాంపోజిషన్ లీడ్స్ టు డైల్యూషన్ ఆఫ్ ఫిల్లర్ మెటల్ విత్ ఎయిదర్ ఆఫ్ 2 బేస్ మెటల్స్ కాజింగ్ వెరీ ఆఫ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్. సో విత్ ఆల్ ది డైల్యూషన్ ఏ ప్లస్ బి ప్లస్ సి కాంబినేషన్ వల్ల, అక్కడ డైల్యూషన్ వల్ల మెటల్ యొక్క ప్రాపర్టీ మోర్ స్ట్రెంత్ కావచ్చు, లెసర్ స్ట్రెంత్ కావచ్చు, అన్ని వీకర్ స్ట్రెంత్ కావచ్చు, క్రాక్ కావచ్చు, డక్టిలిటీ లో డక్టిలిటీ కావచ్చు, హై డక్టిలిటీ కావచ్చు, డైనమిక్ లోడ్స్లో అది విత్స్టాండ్ కాకపోవచ్చు. ఇట్లా డిఫరెంట్ వెరైటీ ఆఫ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ దే మే ఫేస్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ కంబషన్. Physical properties also problem is there. Physical problem. What is the physical problem? Is uneven heat flow with causing differential stresses, uneven expansion of causing heat wrapping distortion, uneven melting of base materials. అదేంటి చూద్దాం ఒకసారి. మళ్ళీ ఒకటి తీసుకుందాం ప్లేట్. ఇది ఒక మెటల్ ఏ తీసుకున్నాను, కట్ సెక్షన్ అనుకోండి. మెటల్ ఏ, మెటల్ బి ఇంకోటి వస్తుంది, డిసిల్వర్ మెటల్. ఈ మెటల్ బి ఉంది, ఇది ఒక ఉంది. ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే when you deposit metal here, what will happen? First, when you start electrode striking over the surface of the metal at the weldment, so heat transfer will start. This property of metal is different. This property of metal is different. This thermal expansion is different to this thermal. For example, heat transfer means high thermal conductivity అనుకోండి దీనికి. సో ర్యాపిడ్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ఆఫ్ హీట్ ఉంటుంది. ర్యాపిడ్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ఆఫ్ హీట్ ఉంటుంది దీనిలో. ఇందులో థర్మల్ కండక్టివిటీ లో ఉందనుకోండి, దీని యొక్క హీట్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ తక్కువగా ఉంటుంది. సో వెన్ యూ డూయింగ్ వెల్డింగ్ హియర్, నార్మల్గా వాట్ ఈస్ ద కాన్సెప్ట్? వెన్ యూ స్టార్ట్ హీటింగ్ హియర్, okay, when you start heating here, heat will be transferred further, so that pre-heat automatically will be developed at the weldment. So when you join your electrode there, deposition will be done automatically, and mixing the electrode filler metal as well as along with your base metal. So full deposition will be occurred, full composition will be formed uniformly, similar to your original base plate. ఇది కాన్సెప్ట్. కానీ హీట్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ఇక్కడ ఎక్కువ, ఇక్కడ తక్కువ అవడం ఏమవుతుందంటే, సో వన్ ఈజ్ టేక్స్ మోర్ టైమ్ టు హీట్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్. అంటే ఈ బేస్ ప్లేట్ హీట్ కావడానికి ఇది ఎక్కువ టైం తీసుకుంటుంది. ఇది ఆల్రెడీ హీట్ అయిపోయి రెడీగా ఉంటుంది. ఇఫ్ యూ కీప్ మోర్ టైమ్ హియర్ టు హీట్ దిస్ బేస్ ప్లేట్, ఇప్పుడు ఈ ప్లేట్ ఏమవుతుంది, ఇక్కడ హోల్ పడిపోయే ఛాన్సెస్ ఉంటాయి ఇక్కడ. సో దీనికోసం ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్తే ఏమవుతుంది, ఇక్కడ డిపాజిషన్ కాదు, ఇది హీట్గా మెల్ట్ అయిపోయి ఉండదు అనమాట. ఇది ప్రాబ్లం దీనికి. సో అందుకని ఇది ఒక ప్రాబ్లం. నెక్స్ట్ థర్మల్ ఎక్స్పాన్షన్ ఇంకో ప్రాబ్లం ఉంది. Suppose ఈ metal A, ఈ metal B. So metal A is having a more thermal expansion. ఎట్లా ఉందంటే లీనియర్ ఎక్స్పాన్షన్ మీకు తెలుసు కదా, లాటరల్ ఎక్స్పాన్షన్, వాల్యూమెట్రిక్ ఎక్స్పాన్షన్. ఎక్స్పాన్షన్ కెన్ బి మేడ్ ఎనీ టైమ్. ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకుందాం. ఇక్కడ రెండింటి కూడా లీనియర్ ఎక్స్పాన్షన్ ఉంది అనుకుందాం. బట్ లీనియర్ ఎక్స్పాన్షన్ ఈజ్ డిఫరెంట్ ఫ్రమ్ వన్ మెటల్ టు అదర్ మెటల్. దిస్ ఈజ్ లెట్ us say SS. దిస్ మెటల్ ఈజ్ యువర్ SS, this metal is your cotton steel, otherwise, okay, cotton steel. So because it is having a less thermal expansion, it will, once heated, it will expand little bit only, but it is having more expansion, it will expand little bit more. So what will happen, అంటే రెండు హ్యాండ్స్ పక్క పక్కకుండా ఒకటి ముందుకి ఒకటి వెనక్కి జరిగినట్టుగా వస్తుంది వెల్డింగ్. ఏమవుతుందండి, ఒకటి ఇదేమో అటు గుంజినట్టు అవుతుంది, ఇదేమో ఇటు గుంజినట్టు అవుతుంది. సో అల్టిమేట్లీ ఇట్ విల్ డిస్టర్బ్ యువర్ వెల్డింగ్ జోన్. సో ఫైనల్లీ వెల్డ్ క్రాష్ విల్ డెవలప్. ఐ గివెన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ థర్మల్ లీనియర్ ఎక్స్పాన్షన్ ఓన్లీ. లైక్ యాక్చువల్లీ మెటల్ హ్యావింగ్ ఇట్స్ వాల్యూమ్, వాల్యూమెట్రిక్ ఎక్స్పాన్షన్ కన్సిడర్ చేసినట్టయితే ఇది గ్యారంటీగా వెల్డింగ్ డిఫెక్ట్కి లీడ్ అవుతుంది. ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనం కన్సిడరేషన్లో పెట్టుకోవాలి మనం. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో వేరియేషన్ ఇన్ ఫిజికల్ ప్రాపర్టీ means uneven heat flow causing differential stresses, uneven expansion causing wrapping and distortion, and uneven melting of base metals. ఇవన్నీ కూడా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉంటాయి ఎప్పుడు అది కాంబినేషన్ జాయింట్స్ విత్ SS విత్ ప్లేన్ కార్బన్ ఆర్ కాస్ట్ స్ట్రెస్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు. కెమికల్ కాంపోజిషన్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఫిజికల్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి మనకి. సో డ్యూరింగ్ వెల్డింగ్ డిసిమిలర్ మెటల్స్ ఫాలోయింగ్ జనరల్ పాయింట్స్ మే బి కెప్ట్ ఇన్ మైండ్. ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ డైల్యూషన్. Dilution means how you dilute with the insertion of electrode only, okay. That dilution to be restricted to reduce intermetallic compounds and other incompatibility problems. సో సాధారణంగా మనం ఎలక్ట్రోడ్ని తగ్గించుకోవాలి, ఎలక్ట్రోడ్ డిపాజిషన్ తగ్గించుకోవాలి. సో లో వెల్డింగ్ కరెంట్స్, షార్ట్ ఆర్క్ లెంత్, స్మాల్ డై ఆఫ్ ఎలక్ట్రోడ్ షెల్ బి ప్రిఫర్డ్. నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ MIG for MAG, లోయర్ డై ఆఫ్ వైర్ విత్ రెడ్యూస్డ్ కరెంట్ డెన్సిటీ ఫర్ మెటల్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ఇన్ డిప్ మోడ్. డిప్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేయించాలి, ఓకేనా. స్ప్రే ట్రాన్స్ఫర్, dip transfer, two types of welding transfers are there, welding deposition methods. Here we have to use dip transfer method only. And setup of proper welding parameters with travel speed, polarity, that we have to follow as per the manufacturer instructions. And buttering of one or both the faces is also helpful. Both sides or one side also can be better to get qualitative welding. And compatible filler is where to be used. That is the most important, as you know. Okay. So already we discussed prior to welding, the same compared to your previous SS welding automation. The same thing here also for digital metal also you can follow. Okay, not. Welding consumables for digital metals you have to use M4 class electrodes, IRS M2802. Okay, Electrode dias, 2.5, 3.5, 4 mm are there as per requirement. Preheat requirement is there for electrodes 150 degree centigrade for 1 hour. Okay, and for MIG and MAG, if you want to use, you have to use refer IRS M4603 manual, and electrode is class 7 electrode type, class 7 electrode you have to use. Okay, wire dia is 0.8 to 1.2. So it is not a thank you. One more slides are there. I would like to show some photographs. Please hold on line. Don't leave. So avoiding iron contamination for steel, how to take precautions, that I would like to show you. So this is one steel composition. These photos are taken from the outside market, not railways, outside only. So this is the original appearance of one steel body. So a person doing some gas cutting near the object, steel object. So he is cutting a plate, carbon steel being cut nearby one man. Okay. So our object is here only. The sparks are kept over the surface. So likewise, this is the photograph. Sparks of carbon steel drain on the stainless steel product. This has been happening. Okay. So what will happen finally? End result, this will make the surface rough. Once the surface is rough, what will happen? That means it loses its chromium property. Chromium loss occurred means what? It is a rough surface will formed and it attracts oxygen, oxidation, corrosion. So again further repairs. So this is the waste of our work. That means what? We must take care of the stainless steel body. Whenever you are cutting objects or anything else, our stainless steel body should not be disturbed. Second one is, suppose a person walking on the steel plate. Normally we keep steel sheets over the surface on the floor. So person will walk. Some impressions will be made over the surface. Likewise, see, these are the impressions. What will happen if you do welding over here? Again, this will the contamination of your base plate. So make results in improper welding. So welding defects will arise. So you should avoid all these bad impressions over the steel. Should be neat and fresh. Okay, always you have to keep. For keeping in shelves properly, it should be tied up with a plastic or wire rope with a stainless steel only, or wood also no problem, but not MS or not any other metal. Remember, okay. So stainless steel shells should not be in direct contact with the stainless steel. So these stainless steel should be kept separately. All stainless steel bodies at one area, other conventional cotton steel, mild steel, another area you have to keep. All parts should not be clubbed together. That you have to keep in mind. Lifting also. Steel body should not be lifted with our MS or any other type of material ropes. It should be a nylon rope or otherwise a plastic rope or otherwise steel rope or stainless steel rope only we have to use for protecting the our steel bodies. See example here, on factory they are lifting on a steel object with a stainless steel wire ropes only. Okay. Grinders, when you use a grinder for stainless steel bodies, you have to keep that as a dedicated one only. That grinder shall not be used on other MS. If you use your grinder on MS, the same grinder shall not be used over the stainless steel body. Okay, that you keep in mind. Steel brush, several times also repeated. We must keep one stainless steel brush separately or dedicatedly for surface cleaning only. Okay or not? We should not use this stainless steel brush on MS and vice versa also. Means a brush very used for MS that shall not be used on stainless steel. Why? Why? Because to protect our surface without losing of chromium. Any other markings with other chemical or any other inks. Okay. Now I can say thank you.